everyone, it's me Gavin Vengeance and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a patch review here for Genshin Impact version 1.6, Midsummer Island Adventure. Now normally I do my patch reviews split into two parts just based upon like the character wish banners that were available and everything like that. But this time I decided to wait around and just get the entirety of the patch focused on in this video. So we'll start off by just saying I absolutely love this patch. I was really taken back by the Golden Apple Archipelago and this gigantic map that got added. Initially when I did see it, when, you know, none of the land masses were uncovered and everything, I was kind of like, there's a whole lot of water, but not a whole lot of land. But then again, little did I know that in a couple of weeks, the entirety of the map would be uncovered, and I was just like, whoa, holy crap, this area is huge. It was way bigger than like the addition of the last area that we got, which was Dragon Spine. So it was a lot of area to explore, and honestly, I think I spent upwards of like 20 hours just trying to unlock every treasure chest and just completely 100% this area. It was a really fun time as well, trying to get all of the puzzles and everything done in this area, and also track down all of like the conches, so that way you can end up unlocking Barbara's outfit and a few other rewards. Now the first thing I want to talk about with this patch is actually the story, and it was really interesting to see this mishmash of all these different characters that you didn't really think were going to be involved, but they were all getting sent invitations from this mysterious Dodo King to go to the archipelago, and there was a reason that they all needed to be there. But I won't spoil anything about it. The one thing I will say though, it was really interesting, and I gotta say they kind of had me on the hook. Unfortunately, somebody in the comments of one of my previous YouTube videos kind of spoiled the ending for me, which really sucked. But that being said, it was really nice. I did like the story all in all. And again, you get to see a couple of different like character moments, especially with like Jean and her new outfit and everything, just kind of being like, oh, I wasn't really prepared to wear something like this, but Lisa made it for me in preparation, right? So it kind of makes you wonder, did Lisa know about the events and what was going on the entire time here? I don't know. But essentially it all amounted to them just being able to be persuaded to take a vacation, so to speak. Really nice to see. I actually enjoyed the story a lot. Now, moving on to the outfits that were available, there's a new outfit for Barbara, which you could unlock just by gathering all the conches, as I said prior. This was pretty cool. I actually like the addition of this outfit. This outfit is a decent design, I guess. Really like the duck purse and everything that she has. That's pretty cool. The rest of the outfit, it's okay. It's neat. I mean, it's appreciated. And also the fact that you were able to get it just from participating in the event, really cool. Now, the next thing was Jean's outfit. This one was a little bit more to me. Like, I'm not overly impressed with the design of it. And also, I know it's going to be a little bit, like, different for some people here, but I think that this outfit is extremely overpriced. Even at the reduced cost that they have it, which I believe is like 1,350 Genesis crystals or something, it amounts to like roughly almost $30 in my currency, and that is quite pricey just for an outfit for a character. I feel like they would have made a lot more money had they made that like a $5 skin or something, you know, because it doesn't really change anything for the characters, at least from what I could tell. It's just more cosmetic. So $30 for a character skin, I'm not buying that shit, not a chance. That being said, I do appreciate the fact that there are additional outfits being introduced to the game, and I really can't wait to see what other additional outfits we will get in the future. And with the addition of the new area, we ended up getting our very first vehicle, our new mode of transportation, which was a boat that had cannons. Now this boat actually played into the very first event that happened in version 1.6, and that was called Main Cannon, Make Ready, Fire. This event just pretty much had you driving around in a boat, shooting your cannon at these structures that the Hilichurls had built up in the middle of the ocean, and once you destroyed the structures, you could end up going in and defeating the enemies, and upon defeating the enemies, you're rewarded with shiny flotsams, which you could spend in the event shop for various rewards. Really short and sweet event, not overly difficult to complete, a little bit time consuming I guess, but honestly I think I finished it within like the first 4 hours or something it was available, so not too bad. Moving on to the second event, Whirlpool off the starboard, full speed ahead. This was a series of courses that you had to race through with your boat, all the while picking up coins that were scattered throughout each course, and trying to get a maximum score of 30,000 to achieve all rewards per course. Now this was actually really fun in my opinion. I had a blast doing this because it actually kind of forced you to go through the course, and then at certain points in each course you would have to eject yourself from the boat and glide through these rings to try to collect each and every single coin and really maximize your score. I found that this was really well designed as well, because a lot of the courses, whenever you would have to go into the gliding part, it would actually end up like rerouting you back, so that way you would land directly back in your boat and then continue on throughout the obstacle course. Super fun. I really love this kind of event, and I hope that we get to see something like this again. I remember just trying to get like the maximum rewards and everything, and it wasn't overly difficult just because of how well designed each race was. Super fun. Really loved it. On to the third event, Samurai Sighted, 2 Arms. This pitted us against a brand new enemy, Magu Kenki, which is an enemy that is native to Inazuma, and there's a lot of story surrounding it, so it's really cool to get up to this point and actually get to face off against this enemy. That being said, it was a little bit weird that we did have to spend our own resin in order to claim rewards for this fight, but I guess it is warranted considering the fact that you could get artifacts as well as like character ascension materials through the fight, as well as the other rewards that you got just for the event, such as like Primo Gems and more on all that stuff. So again, it's not unusual to see something that does require your resin for events that happen during each patch, but just my little minor gripe with it. That being said, I did really appreciate all the like new battle mechanics and everything like that there, and I am really looking forward to fighting these enemies again in the future. Now for the fourth event that happened, Harpassum Bombs Loaded, Blow 'em Away. This was a little bit weird to me because it had you crafting these Harpassum Bombs, which didn't really take a whole lot of materials, honestly, but I mean, you still had to craft these 3 different types of bombs in order to complete the objectives. One was really good at like taking down single target enemies, while another bomb was really good at AoE, and then another bomb was good at depleting shields. Now that being said, you would think, okay, we'll have to use all 3 of these in tandem, but honestly, I only really used one of them because the AoE bomb, in my opinion, was extremely broken and far outperformed the other 2 bombs that were available. This was a little bit different because you just had to go and track down these different mobs that were scattered throughout the map, and you did have to do this event quite a bit in order to reap all of the rewards from this. So it was a little bit tedious, and at the same time, the thing that really pissed me off about this one is that the targeting for the bombs was horrendous. There were times that I thought that I had the reticle directly on an enemy, and then the bomb would like blow up behind them, even though like, you know, it still had to travel through the enemy. The targeting was just horrible. I really hope we don't get to see this event or this type of event in the future, if it still has the same targeting. So this event I could kind of do without. That being said, it was fun, I guess, for the first like 2 or 3 times that I had to do it, but doing this 20 times or whatever it was that took you to get all the rewards, I could do with it being a little bit shorter. Moving away from the Archipelago, our next event took place back in the familiar regions of Teyvat, and that's Legend of the Vagabond Sword. Now this is an event that we're very familiar with, and again is going to be very divisive amongst the entirety of the community. The free-to-plays absolutely dread this, while the whales absolutely love this, and it's the challenge event. So essentially what happens here is you're pitted against these different fights, and you have to set restrictions upon yourself in order to increase the overall score that you get. Now, the score required for these events was fairly high, honestly, in comparison to the difficulty of each battle this time around. I feel like this has been probably the most difficult challenge event that we've gotten to date. And that being said, the 3 enemies were very diverse, and you really had to approach different battles a lot more strategically this time around in order to reap the rewards. So the very first fight that you end up getting into is the one with the Primo Geovis hat. It's actually fairly difficult, but I mean, if you have shields, you can take them down fairly easily. The second one that you had to fight was a Hateful Oceanid. This one, I feel like if you didn't have Ganyu, you were at a severe disadvantage for this fight. Very difficult, but I feel like if you have a cryo range character, it really benefited you. The last one, however, my god, the last one was difficult, and that's the dual Magu Kenki, the enemies that we face in the third event in the Archipelago. This time around, you had to fight 2 of them, and they both had different abilities. I believe one was cryo, and the other one was an animo type. And man, this was difficult. Like, they completely whooped my ass repeatedly, and it took many attempts before I could actually get the minimum score required. I just pretty much went through the entirety of the Legend of Vagabond Sword, just really trying to do as minimum as I could in order to get all of the rewards, and luckily I was able to pull it off. But I know we're going to end up seeing this event return in the future. I'm just going to hopefully be better prepared for the next time it comes around, because if it keeps increasing in this form of difficulty, we are in for a time. Next is Kaboom Ball Combat, a sort of batting cage-esque type minigame, I guess, where this turret would spit out these kaboom balls at you of different like elements and types, and you would just have to like judge your timing in order to hit it back at the turret. Now, sometimes it would lob the kaboom balls up in the air, and you would have to like judge where it was going to land in order to time your hit. And I know a lot of people did find this a little bit like tedious or difficult in order to hit the kaboom balls back. But I found the trick to this was actually waiting until the kaboom ball was kind of like adjacent to your character before swinging. And it was really interesting to me. I really like playing this co-op, to be honest. And I did enjoy this minigame. However, I do feel it's a little bit weird to lock some of the rewards behind like the perfect hits. And again, I would really like to see this come back, but I wish that the timing or there was some sort of like indicator or notification that would go off to tell you, hey, this is the time to swing if you want to get that perfect hit. Again, really dependent on like your proximity to the kaboom balls. But all in all, really good. I did like Kaboom Ball Combat, and I really hope to see this return. Finally, we move on to the last event made available in 1.6, which is Endless Battle. Now, at the time of recording this, only 2 fights had been made available in Endless Battle to this point, but I feel like I have enough knowledge that I can speak upon it. The very first one that we got really has you trying to utilize Superconduct to take down the enemies that you're facing as quickly as possible, and then the second fight has you utilizing Swirl a little bit more, so that way you can combine the elemental reactions. Now, all the while that you're trying to defeat these enemies, these other panels pop up that you need to hit with Harpassums in order to increase your momentum gauge. The momentum gauge provides your characters with buffs that make the enemies a little bit easier for you to take down and rack up the score that you need to get all of the rewards. That being said, in my opinion, this is actually fairly difficult, and I can't imagine trying to do this on mobile because I feel like it would be really hectic trying to swap between equipping the Harpassum and also using your elemental abilities. So my recommendation is really trying to utilize your elemental bursts here and try to have like a really high energy recharge on your characters. Some of these fights have been a real nail biter, to be honest, so I'm interested to see how the other fights are going to turn out in this Endless Battle, but I will say I do enjoy it, and it is really challenging, so I'm sure a lot of people that are whales really are going to enjoy this event, and free-to-play is probably maybe a little bit more divisive here again, but all in all, I would like to see it return. Very fun. Now, the next thing that I did want to talk about was the 2 character wish banners that were made available, the first one being the return banner for Klee. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Klee initially when she was first introduced because I just didn't really see her as an interesting character, and I kind of didn't really want to roll on her. Little did I know how useful she was going to be or how powerful she was going to be, so I was like, awesome, I'll have another opportunity to roll on Klee. Well, unfortunately for me, Eula's banner pretty much tapped everything that I had available to myself, so vengeance will be yours, Eula, I guess, because now I still don't have Klee. So I was kind of forced to skip it on this banner, but I'm very happy for the people that were actually able to get her in their roster, so that was really neat to see. Maybe there'll be a third return, I highly doubt it, but anywho, moving on to the next one, Kazuha. Now this banner, I really like the character design. He really reminds me of like Tanjiro from Demon Slayer and all that stuff. But he's a really sick character. Using him out in like the test run and everything like that, and seeing how his abilities work, I feel like this character is going to be very relevant for quite a bit of time. So I heard that like the drop rates on this character seemed like they were fairly low, which is really unfortunate. But for the people that do have him and the combat that I have seen in co-op and everything, he seems super fun to play. I would really like to see this character return in a banner in the future as well, because I would like the opportunity to roll on him. But for myself, I'm going to be saving up for the Electro Archon when she eventually appears, hopefully in the Inazuma patch. So we'll wait and see. But that's going to do it for the character wish banners. The weapon banners, I don't really want to speak on those very much because I didn't really support them. Now with the changes that are coming out in version 2.0, maybe I'll start rolling on the weapon banners then. But that being said, that's pretty much going to cover the basis of version 1.6 and everything that I experienced in it. All in all, a lot of content, man. And it really, really sucks that we're going to be having to part ways with the Golden Apple Archipelago because I would like to see that, stay in the game and everything. But I understand, needing to free up the space for mobile players and everything. I just really hope that it doesn't happen a whole lot in the future because it really sucks spending so much time in this area and completely doing everything into it just to see it kind of disappear, right? All in all, I did have a really, really good time with version 1.6. And I really am looking forward to version 2.0. So if you guys really enjoyed the review, or if you guys have anything else to add to the review, then please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you very much for watching as always, and please remember to like the video, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you want more Genshin Impact related content, and I'll see you all for the next one. Take care. Peace.